Hey everybody, it's Wayne D. Welcome to the website. It's WayneD.com. If you're on YouTube, please click that bell and subscribe. That'd be great. Keep us going here. So watching the tournament at Greenbrier, there are four guys I got swings from. I got Joaquin Niemann, and you probably watched the video that I've done just last week. And then we've got Scotty Scheffler. And here's kind of the reason why I wanted to do this, because I wanted to do a little comparison of shaft angles at P3, because when we get a down the line view, visually we can see if we can stop it more or less at P3. And some of these, sometimes the camera will skip. If you look at Scheffler's swing, he doesn't quite get it. So let's see if we got another one of him here. Yeah, here's one. We'll just make this one a little bigger. All right. So we got four players. I also have Adam Long and Robbie Shelton. So here's Scheffler. Now Scheffler's got a super interesting swing. I would say if he's on 3D, this kinetic link's going to be very odd as far as sequencing goes, because you can just see it. He has very little clearing with his legs, and his arms move out. Left wrist is bent back a little bit. So there it is at P3. If we watch the shaft angle here, we're going to see it just slightly flat. Now Niemann, on the other hand, is way flatter right here. So let's go over to Robbie Shelton. Got a good shot of him here. So Shelton's going to come down, and this is one where the shaft is inside the ball just a hair. And then if we go over to Adam Long, and we get him to P3, we're going to see that shaft just slightly flat. So I would say most of these guys, if you look at the average movement of the club, slightly shallowing like that. So you can see Shelton is much more prone to, if this is a bigger swing, and he probably doesn't swing very big, but if it's a bigger swing, that's going to go across the line. But you can also see that it's also in the downswing, it's that right arm adduction with a little bit of tilt back in the wrists, and that club's going to sit back a little bit, but in his case still kind of flatten a little bit more late in the swing. So we saw Niemann and Scheffler. So let's do this. Let's take one at a time, and we'll get him to 3. So we'll start with Scheffler, and then we'll look at Adam Long. Now these are also going to be somewhat dependent on how tall these guys are. You can see Long's angle is much flatter. Now I'm not superimposing these swings, so the idea is just to see the angles that they're producing. So, point here is, and what I find more and more interesting as I watch more and more, is the huge variation in how these guys hit the ball. And if you watch Shelton swing, and you watch his tendency to, with that shaft coming in not as flat, his head is just not going to lower nearly as much. When you look at Neiman's swing and you watch that head, this is something that we looked at before, especially when you got a fixed camera like this one here. We look at this tee shot, and when that shaft gets real flat in the downswing, one of the things that's gonna help get that thing down onto the ball from way over here is he's going to keep lowering. So we saw that where his head lowered a massive amount, entire head. So the guys that flatten it a lot seem to get it down to the ball, seem to lower a little more. This camera is not stable here, but we can probably tell if we just take a look. You can see the top of his head, a little bit in the back swing. See that? Not very much there in the forward swing. So when the shaft does not lay back quite as much, head seems to be a little more stable. A nice golf swing, right by the way, for Adam Long. So anyway, you choose your technique, as it were. There's all sorts of options when you're working on your swing. You can flare the right arm like Long does, or you can keep it in front of you. You can keep that shaft coming up and down the plane. You can flatten it and then steepen it a little bit. So anyway, just thought that was kind of interesting. Some good swings. So let's play all these guys at regular speed once. Yikes. I think he was holding that one off a little bit. So, just thought that was interesting. Nothing earth-shattering. Just that there's a lot of different actions out there on the tour.